Brianna Wiest is an American author and essayist born in 1992, known for her work on emotional wellness and personal growth. Her writing, featured worldwide, inspires readers to see themselves with greater clarity and strength. Her book, The Mountain Is You, delivers a profound message. The biggest obstacle in life is not the outside world, but our own self-sabotage. The mountain symbolizes fear, resistance, and destructive patterns that keep us from growth. Wiest explains that procrastination, perfectionism, or toxic relationships are not weaknesses, but unconscious attempts at self-protection. Through psychology and philosophy, she shows how these struggles can be transformed into sources of wisdom. Ultimately, this book is a guide to turning inner resistance into self-mastery. It teaches that the mountain is not there to block you, but to shape you into who you are meant to become. Self-sabotage is not a sign of laziness or weakness, as many people assume. It is, in fact, an unconscious survival strategy. When you delay action, when you avoid new opportunities, or when you repeat destructive habits, you are not trying to ruin your life. You are trying to protect yourself. Brianna Wiest explains that the roots of sabotage are buried in fear, in unhealed wounds, and in the deep desire to stay safe. For example, if you grew up in a home where love was uncertain, you may unconsciously reject healthy relationships. Stability feels unfamiliar, so your mind tells you it cannot be trusted. If failure once brought you shame or punishment, you may avoid new challenges. Staying small feels safer than risking disappointment again. This is why Wiest insists, self-sabotage is not your enemy. It is your mind's way of keeping you comfortable, even when comfort is keeping you stuck. The path forward begins with compassion. Instead of asking, "Why am I like this?" ask, "What is this behavior trying to protect me from?" By shifting from blame to curiosity, you uncover the hidden message inside your resistance. Every destructive cycle points to an unmet need. Every avoided challenge reveals where healing must occur. Self-sabotage, then, is not proof of failure. It is a teacher. It is a map. It shows you the exact location of the mountain you must climb. Many people believe discipline is the key to change. But Brianna Wiest explains something deeper. People do not sabotage themselves because they lack willpower. They sabotage themselves because they are ruled by unexamined emotions. Emotional intelligence, the ability to notice, understand, and manage feelings, is the essential tool for transformation. Think of the moments when you eat not from hunger, but from loneliness. When you lash out in anger because you feel small. When you quit before starting because anxiety whispers, "You are not ready." These are not failures of discipline, they are failures of emotional awareness. Wiest reminds us emotions are not permanent truths, they are temporary messengers. Anxiety signals uncertainty. Sadness signals loss. Anger signals injustice. The mistake is when we treat feelings as commands instead of information. To master yourself, you must sit with discomfort. You must listen to your emotions without letting them control your every move. Journaling is one tool Wiest recommends. Writing allows you to see emotions clearly, to recognize the patterns and triggers that quietly shape your life. With practice, you shift from reacting to responding. You pause before acting. You choose a response that serves your future, not your fear. Emotional intelligence is not about silencing feelings. It is about integration. You do not erase fear. You acknowledge it, thank it, and then move forward with courage. When you learn this skill, the mountain within begins to crumble. Chaos turns to clarity, and clarity becomes the ground on which you build a new life. We act, not according to what we want, but according to who we believe we are. This is one of Brianna Wiest's strongest messages. If you see yourself as unworthy, you will reject opportunities. If you see yourself as fragile, you will avoid challenges. If you see yourself as incapable, you will sabotage the path to success. The mountain is not only built from fear, it is also built from identity. Self-sabotage often happens when your desires clash with your hidden beliefs. You may say, "I want success." But if you secretly believe you do not deserve it, you will unconsciously block it. You may say, "I want love." But if you believe deep down that love is unsafe, you will run from it, even as you search for it. True change, Wiest explains, is not just about new habits. It is about new identity. Confidence is not a gift given to the lucky. It is a practice built by showing up every day before you feel ready. Each aligned action chips away at the old self and strengthens the new one. Belief shapes behavior. Behavior reinforces belief. The cycle can trap you, or it can liberate you. By choosing beliefs that affirm your worth, your resilience, and your capability, you rewrite your story. The mountain becomes less about conquering fear and more about embodying truth. Human beings are wired to seek comfort, but growth demands discomfort. This is the paradox Wiest presents. When you avoid pain at all costs, you remain at the base of the mountain, safe but stagnant. Discomfort, she explains, is not a sign you are failing. It's proof you are growing. Fear sharpens into courage only when faced. Insecurity becomes confidence only through practice. Loneliness transforms into strength only when you learn to sit with yourself. The very feelings you resist contain the medicine you need. Instead of asking, "How do I avoid this?" ask, "What is this teaching me?" Discomfort signals that you are leaving the old self behind. It is the breaking down of familiar patterns to make space for something greater. The climb is not glamorous. It is messy. It is emotional. It is uncertain. But Wiest insists, this struggle is sacred. It is the process of rebirth. When you stop running from pain, you discover your strength. The mountain is no longer an enemy. It becomes your training ground. Discomfort does not mean you are lost. It means you are becoming. Wiest's writing is not only philosophical, it is practical. She offers clear steps to begin the climb. The first step is awareness. Notice your triggers. Notice your repeating thoughts. Notice the habits that keep you stuck. Write them down. Trace them back to their roots. Understanding the why gives you the power to change the how. The second step is intention. Build practices that support your future self. This could be boundaries in relationships, daily rituals of self-care, or simply delaying gratification to strengthen discipline. Each small action is a brick in the foundation of transformation. The goal is not perfection, it is consistency. The third step is community. Transformation does not happen in isolation. You need people who remind you of your potential, who encourage you when you forget. Your external environment shapes your internal strength. Finally, Wiest urges celebration. Every step matters. Progress is not only measured by the summit, but by the courage to keep climbing. The mountain is not punishment. It is the arena where you become the person you are meant to be. At the end of her book, Brianna Wiest leaves us with a powerful truth. The mountain was never separate from you. It was always your own fear, your own doubt, your own resistance. To climb it is not to escape yourself. It is to become yourself. The summit is not a place. It is a state of being. It is the moment you stop running from who you are. It is the moment you embrace your wounds as teachers. You welcome discomfort as growth. You see identity as fluid, expansive, and alive. Self-sabotage is not a curse. It is a signal. It points directly to the parts of you that need healing. Every obstacle is an invitation. Every setback is a doorway. Every fear is a mirror showing you what must be faced. Mastery is not about dominance. It is about integration. To master yourself is to hold both fear and courage, both shadow and light, without turning away. When you reach this place, the mountain dissolves. It is no longer a barrier. It is the path itself. And as you stand at the summit, you see the truth. The mountain was you, and you have finally come home.